The Arcturian Group Message, February 1, 2015. We come again, dear ones, to speak of love and oneness, for in reality there is nothing else. Accepting this has proven difficult for many, because outer appearances testify to separateness. Society promotes and functions from this viewpoint, and it is what you have taken for granted through many lifetimes. Yes, indeed the many do appear separate, but it is individuality within one omnipresent consciousness that you see. As you mature spiritually, there comes a point where you no longer judge by appearances, because you understand that what you see is the mind interpretation of ever-present spiritual realities. This is why the world has been called illusion by so many enlightened masters. The world is not illusion, how it is perceived is the illusion. Images of separation and duality are expressions of a world consensus consciousness of separation and duality. You are now evolving and moving beyond the beliefs of an unawakened consciousness, leaving behind that which has governed you for so long. The message of oneness is pouring from many spiritually reliable sources because mankind is ready to hear and embrace this, but for some, even those well along in their journey, the idea of oneness can be difficult. Most of you have moved beyond considering spiritual ideas to be simply dinner party conversation, and have also discovered that you no longer care to engage in arguments about religion. Worldwide there has been a gradual shifting into a consciousness that sees and understands that there are many paths up the mountain, but only one mountain. Differences that once seemed important simply no longer exist as they once did. Many find that even as they clear and move beyond old fears and difficulties, they still must live, work, and function in third-dimensional situations. This is why you are here, dear ones, to remember who you are, in spite of appearances to the contrary. While on Earth as it is, you will always witness some three-dimensional activities. When you find yourself in these situations, keep your energy field clear and filled with light, which does not allow you to be pulled into lower resonating energy. Live each moment of each day, doing what is given you to do and saying what needs to be said from a place of unconditional love, and you will not be in awe of the lower resonating energy. However, as we have stated many times, this never means being a doormat. Never broadcast spiritual awareness and knowledge to those not of a consciousness to understand it in hopes of changing some unpleasant situation. Your sacred connection to the divine within must be kept silent, secret, and protected like a newborn babe, until it grows and becomes strong enough to withstand any influence that would take it from you. Keep the sacred self safe and warm, feed it, love it, and watch it grow. As it becomes stronger, it will begin to manifest outwardly when you least expect it, in ways you never dreamed of. It may verbalize the perfect solution to resolve some intense situation even though you had never consciously considered such a solution. You may find yourself taking some action, be it small or large, that you had not planned, but which turns out to make some positive impact or previously unconsidered change. These are the activities of the deeper, stronger, and more real you. When experiences of this sort begin to appear, you start to understand how the unconditioned by world beliefs consciousness works. As an individual begins to evolve and grow more deeply into a consciousness of truth, his mind becomes increasingly unconditioned and begins to replace the previous human, thinking, plotting, planning, mind steeped in concepts about everything. A mind no longer conditioned by false beliefs of duality and separation, interprets the world accordingly. Everyone has had experiences of simply knowing without thought at some time when it was needed. Do not diminish these experiences, but embrace and celebrate them. This higher state of consciousness can only unfold as you choose and allow it. It grows stronger through practice and trust. It is not some magic button inside of you that is separate and apart from the divine, but it is you, the totality of you. Be not afraid, dear ones. Now when you are being asked to leap off the cliff of your familiar, leaving behind those things that have represented security for you, even though much of that familiar security may have been experienced as discord and pain. Humans tend to hold tightly to what they are familiar with. Remember this when you are deciding whether or not to move beyond someone or some situation in your life that you know has completed and can only serve to hold you in old energy. All is proceeding according to plan for everyone who has made the choice to evolve, even though it may not look that way. We see light flowing with ever-increasing intensity with each person who awakens out of the illusion. Never forget that you chose specifically to incarnate within this ascension time frame in order to complete your own issues through experiences and clearings, and then move on to assist in the awakening of others. Try not to drag your feet, hemming and hawing that things must be this way or that, before you can be more spiritual. You already are spiritual, it is just a matter of accepting it. God is all there is, and therefore you must also be the same. All that is, there can be nothing outside of omnipresence. The sooner you allow yourself to accept this, the sooner you can begin living it. Each time you sit quietly, resting in the light of your own divinity, you are adding awareness to universal consciousness. Meditation no longer needs to be the heavily structured process most of you were taught. Meditation teachings that state, you must sit this way, keep the spine straight, and feet on the floor, etc., were simply disciplines designed to help beginners quiet themselves and concentrate within. Structure is necessary for an unenlightened human mind used to being busy every second, but you are no longer beginners. The goal of meditation is simply to rest in a quiet awareness of oneness, that silent place where you can sigh and state to yourself, I and the Father are one, and then rest for a moment or two in that peace. This holy place eventually becomes easy to access and is part of every waking moment, at which time, meditation as you know it is no longer necessary because you are living it. Practice being centered as you go about your chores, your employment, walk through a quiet forest, or even down a busy city street. You can do this in the midst of a difficult day, simply by finding a bathroom, closing the door, taking a deep breath, and resting in I am. Meditation need not be as difficult as so many believe it to be. Difficulties come when it is entered into with expectations based on concepts heard about or read regarding what must happen, what it must look like, or what one must feel. Meditation is simply the practice of resting in what you already are, and is not something you must attain. Let go of teachings that say meditation must be a certain way or it is not valid. Your decision to go within is your validity. You are that which you are seeking. Keep sacred practices and unfoldments secret and silent within, for these constitute the babe that must be kept safe until strong and grown. Share your spiritual pearls only with those who are connoisseurs of pearls. All is one. Remember that, live that, be that, and you will change the world. We are the Arcturian group. Channeled by Marilyn Raphael. www.onenessofall.com